watching, the watcher's watching me. Cameras spinning, eyes, no place to be free. High towers whisper to the ground below. Promises broken where the taxes grow. C.S.I. watchdogs sniff the trail. Follow the lies where the big dogs fail. Truth uncovered, corruption's face. Tear down the mask in the shadow place. Tear down the mask in the shadow place.
Our Heavenly Father, we are grateful that all the goodness that you give us, especially the joy in finding Jesus Christ. Dear God, we pray that you would give us wisdom, you would give us courage, that we would do what's best for your kingdom in this city, and that, dear God, we would be good stewards. In our name we pray. Amen.
All right, if you would, take a look at the minutes from the previous meetings on pages 4 through 10 of your packet. If there are no additions or corrections, I will take a motion to approve those as they are.
I'll make one correction.
Okay?
On the minutes where it talks about lift, it is not capitalized. So, shortly after I recused myself. I'm looking for it real quick.
On the vote? Is it
On the vote, it's on the vote.
Okay.
Page 9. Mr. Dan Nichols recused himself because his wife is on the board for lift with a capital L. So, with that correction, I would make a motion to accept it.
Okay. You got that, Mike?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, with that correction, Dan has made a motion. Do I have a second? Second. All right. And I have a second. All in favor? And it's unanimous vote. All right. Okay, now we will move on to our first public hearing. Public hearing number 1, North Georgia Land Developers is requesting 6 parcels to be annexed into the City of Ringgold and to be zoned Z2, or C2, excuse me, and RTZ. All 6 annexation requests are contingent upon one properties are located at tax map 67, parcel 10, parcel 11, parcel 12, parcel 8 to be zoned C2, tax map 66, parcel 76A and 74A to be zoned RTZ. Information on this is on pages 11 through 54 of your packet. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? You would, sir, come up, state your name and address, and then just kind of give us an idea of what it is.
Yes, sir. Well, good evening. My name is Shazman Ali, 932 Lake Street, Dalton, Georgia, 30721. Yes, sir. In front of you, I have this application for annexation. It's a total of around 160 acres. Well, sorry, just 100 acres being zoned C2. The other 60 acres, of course, I got zoned a couple of years ago as I annexed it into the city. And the other roughly 73 acres, I'm requesting an RTZ zoning. The goal over there is to, increase the supply of attainable housing in the Ringgold market, and through the amount of rooftops we would be able to get, this would spur the commercial development in the area. Hence why I'm asking for the C2 zoning for the other 100 acres. So the goal would be to bring in more restaurants, more quick serve type restaurants, and just general commercial development into this exit.
Comment, questions? Go right ahead.
Approximately how many housings are you looking to put in the RTZ section? Are you looking at townhomes, attached dwellings, single family detached dwellings, do you have a rough idea of what you would want to put in the RTZ section?
Yes, sir. So it's gonna be 100% single-family homes, so they would be on roughly like 5,000 square foot lots, so anything would be like close to like 30 by 50 or 40 by 50 type of homes. We're not entirely sure of the exact amount of homes. We still have a quite lengthy engineering process, but regardless of however many homes it comes, it would be over a period of 5 to 6 years, with the first year just being getting approvals, getting the engineering completed, and then we could see. There's also, part of the property has flood zones, like wetlands, and there are challenges to the property. So although not the entire property is usable for the process, but there will be stormwater ponds, there will be other stormwater management features that we put in. So,
So you're looking at single family detached?
yes, sir, single family detached.
So these are not rentals.
No,
So why do you need RTZ for that?
to reach the attainable housing price points, the RTZ works well because it's 5,000 square foot lots. When we get into higher density, not higher density, but higher square foot for the lots, like when you're looking at 1 acre or half acre, you have to build a much more substantial type of product. The RTZ allows us the flexibility to reduce our significant land costs that are going to go into this development. So, as far as mass grading, the stormwater features that we have to put in, all the water management features. So that's what the RTZ allows us to do.
Anybody else got any questions? I do. You mentioned, if I remember right, because I think I remember you being here. The property there is at the corner of C.S.I. Parkway and 41 Highway that's already cleared. That's your property also, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's already been annexed in.
Yes, sir.
What is the progress on that as far as the development of that property?
Correct. So I've had many internal discussions with a lot of quick server restaurants, coffee shops, the national chains, and even some mom and pop type of restaurants. Their biggest concern is they need the rooftops to make it happen, to make their products sustainable. Housing, yes, sir. So we're hoping that the RTZ will bring in enough rooftops to entice these companies to want to come in and, open up shop along that entire Highway 41 corridor.
So are you, so the majority of that, just that particular piece that you've already got annexed into the city, the majority of it is gonna be commercial?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, it would be.
Commercial, would it not? Because it's C.
Correct.
But, my question and my concern is, and I don't know about anybody else, but I go down there quite often, going to Dalton, going back way to Dalton, and different things. My biggest concern is not the affordable housing. I understand why you want the RTZ, because you can get a smaller lot, a smaller house, and it's more affordable, and you can probably sell it quicker. And I understand that. And that's what Catoosa County is actually trying to work toward, and the City of Ringgold is trying to work toward. My biggest concern is those two, and I know everything is contingent together, and I'm not saying that this is not a good plan. I'm just, in my opinion, it's not a good plan at this time. And that's just my opinion. There's 5 other people up here. Those 2 RTZ lots right there, if you put, and it's, I think combined it's what, around close to 70 acres?
Yes, sir.
Is that about right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm just throwing out a number because I haven't sat down and actually figured it out. But let's just say there's, what would you, just a ballpark figure, what would you say as far as housing would be for those 2 pieces of property? just the RTC, not the commercial, I'm not worried about that.
Yes, sir. I could say that at least over the next 2 to 3 years, roughly 70 homes.
Combined on both pieces?
Yes, sir, with the potential for more in the future.
So you're saying the first phase is 70?
Yes, sir, which would last, yes, sir, which would last around 3 years. Are you concerned about the traffic that would go along Highway 2?
I'm concerned
Sure.
about that one intersection right there of Highway 2 and 41 Highway.
So,
Because I've been down through there and it's different times of the day. It's not all day. I mean, some days I can go through there and I can turn left if I want to and I'm good to go. I can come out of there, turn right, come to Ringgold, turn left, go to Tunnel Hill, and I'm good to go. Sometimes. But there are a lot of times that I've been down through there and I'm the fourth car waiting to go straight to Tunnel Hill, but yet I'm sitting there for 15 minutes because there's 15 cars coming from Tunnel Hill, so this front person cannot turn left. So that's why, and like I said, we have 5 people, so technically I really don't have a vote. I'm just the chairman and I'm facilitating this whole thing. But my concern is that one intersection, and until GDOT gets in gear and does something at that one place that's satisfactory, it's hard to look at it and say, okay, we're gonna put 150 homes eventually. That's just a ballpark figure. And if you count 2 cars in each one of those houses, you're looking at 300 vehicles coming out and more than likely coming towards 41 Highway, probably very few that would be going south headed toward Dalton.
yes, sir.
Do you understand
Yes, sir. So,
what that concern is?
Yes, sir. So actually, in the initial phase, we will actually have all the cars coming through the 100 acres of the commercial tract, going through Hackett Road, and they would end up directly on Highway 41. So on the top of the property that's closer to Highway 2, there's a stream that is going through it. To cross the stream, of course, we would need extensive engineering studies plus the cost of bridge construction. We are hoping that after the first phase, there will be enough funds to be able to put a bridge so that people can cross onto Highway 2. But the initial phase, the traffic will not be pouring directly into Highway 2. They'll be going through Highway 41, through our internal road network that we would create.
Is that on the existing lot that's in the city, which is that where it would make the exit?
Actually, so the ones that I'm asking to be rezoned into C2, there's a Hackett Road going through it. We would eventually tie into Hackett Road, but we would have our own internal road system that would go through. There's a connecting portion between the two parcels, the ones that are RTZ and then the ones that we're asking for C2. We do have a crossing there. That's where we would build our road, and that would tie into Hackett Road, which would then tie into the Highway 41. There's also a lot of Georgia Power easements throughout the area, so those are also an option that we could use to get access to Highway 41.
So you're saying that most of your traffic would come off of 41 Highway and go in and not come off Catoosa Parkway? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, sir, correct. Because again,
would you have access off of Catoosa Parkway?
we will. But once we get
Is that the first phase or is that eventually?
that would be perhaps the second phase. Of course, this will go through an engineering review, and if the requirement comes that, hey, we have to immediately put a bridge, of course, we will do that. But just from what we're in initial talks with the engineer, it's looking like in the initial phase, we won't have to do that bridge. So we wouldn't even be touching Catoosa Parkway for at least 3 years.
So there wouldn't be any access into these RTC places, RTC properties off of Catoosa Parkway on the initial
Yes, sir.
initial phase?
Yes,
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Bridges are very expensive.
All right,
So-
well, just building a road is very expensive.
Yes,
I
sir.
understand that. So and I can see on the map that you're talking about accessing Hackett Road
Yes, sir.
to get to these RTC properties.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay, and I see where part of, it looks like part of Hackett Road goes across one of your C2 properties that you want annexed in.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
But,
And then we would have to bring the road that would connect the RTZ lots to Hackett Road.
okay,
Yes, sir.
where on Hackett Road would you connect to? Would it be closer to Bandy, or would it be, because honestly,
Mhm.
and I failed on my part to actually go down there, because I didn't have a clue that you were gonna try to go in from Hackett Road, so I didn't drive on Hackett Road, I just went down to Bandy and went down to the Parkway.
Yes, sir.
So, and I'm not sure, and maybe somebody here or Mike knows, you know, what type of road that is, and I really don't know.
It's just a small back road, just
Just a small
two-lane back road, yeah.
two-lane back road that, okay.
And this is all, I mean, the initial step is to get the zoning for these properties. Once we get the zoning, that's when I would invest heavily into, all right, now that we have this, let's put the resources into doing the engineering, meeting with, you know, the various departments, including GDOT at some point, about how do we make this happen, what we're trying to do.
Have access to Hackett from the RTZ?
Not directly through the RTZ,
That's
but
what I was looking at,
but-
you got a corner crossing.
Yes, sir.
But you don't have.
I do have a
You
corner
can't do a
crossing.
corner crossing with a, you don't have a right of way big
Oh,
enough.
we do, yes,
For a
sir.
corner crossing.
Yes, sir. We've got a access easement agreement with Stockburger
Okay.
on his property. So yeah, his property, it extends a little bit
So
up
you do
this
have
way.
that secured? in
Yes,
your
sir.
parts, okay.
Yes, sir. That's all taken care of.
Can I ask a commercial question?
Is this including all of these?
Okay, and-
Questions you want?
Since the traffic issue, is there any talk about hotels? Or are you looking at strictly restaurants, or is there anything that you can, get commercially in that area? So you talk about hotels, which would increase the traffic.
At the moment, I've not gotten any interest from hotels. It's been primarily like QSR type, like quick serve restaurants. So not specifically like, let's say Dunkin' Donuts, but similar to Dunkin' Donuts, for example, there's coffee places that have shown interest that, hey, if there is, you know, homes for that area, we're willing to come and invest into the area, purchase property, build our restaurants or so. So I mean, to kind of make it a more proper exit that's, I guess, more similar to like exit 348 with all of the various options that are there. We could have fueling stations that would come there. So,
Now that's on the page, you talked about that on the piece that you already zoned, or already annexed into the city, correct?
yes, sir, correct.
Talking about the fueling station, because it joins 40 Mile Highway.
Yes, sir.
These two pieces of commercial property that I'm looking at here, if I'm memory serves me correct, those are pretty steep.
Yes,
So
sir.
what kind of businesses are you looking at putting on that?
I mean, again, it just depends on the engineering plan that's gonna happen. I did have Tri-State Drilling go out there earlier this week. They haven't given me any kind of report yet, but they did drill various sites throughout.
Action testing or?
Well, it was mainly just to see at what elevation do we hit rock pretty much. So they've done their testing. I get have yes, sir, just like coring samples. Yeah.
So if this was approved by us and by the city council, when would your construction actually start? I know you said something was 2 to 3 years. So are you looking at 3 years down the road as getting started?
No, sir. We would go through the engineering process for the entire property, as far as the 60 acres plus the 100 plus the 70 acres, right? So it would be a comprehensive plan. That process, just the engineering, I would say, it's going to take 6 months. We're going to go through various iterations, go through what we can or can't do with the property, go through all the results from testing, from wetland studies. We do have surveys currently, but they're boundary surveys. So there's even one topography survey company that, you know, if we're able to get the zoning, they'll be out there measuring everything. So that process will take some time. I know the LDP process takes quite a bit of time before we can even get that land disturbance permit. So I would hope within a year, once all the permitting is done, that is when we would start doing actual groundbreaking. And within that year, try to finalize what homes will be coming, and based on that, what kind of commercial development could we bring.
And I was informed, I think it was at one of our previous meetings, that I should have asked this, and I didn't know I was supposed to. If this is annexed into the city, what services do you expect the city to supply to these commercial areas into this RTC area?
I mean, whatever the city's willing to give us, I guess. Or if there's some kind of need to discuss how to make it happen. So of course for the homes, they're gonna need trash service. As far as sewer and water and stuff like that of course, as a developer, I'm gonna bring to each of these houses. So that'll all be accounted for. But yes, sir, primarily I would just think garbage service is what would be needed. Police and fire. And of course, with the amount of homes in the commercial business, we would be generating, I believe, more than ample property taxes and whatever that is needed to be able to support these services. So.
Anybody else got anything? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone here that would like to speak in opposition of this annexation? Would sir come up? Like I said before, state your name and address.
You go first. He speaks way better than I do, so I'm glad y'all let me go first. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joel King. I'm a District 4 resident and a concerned citizen, and I really do oppose this annexation as it stands. Chairman Higgs, you hit it on the nail on the head. 2 out of 3 of my points with growth in the area and stuff like that, even if it hits Highway 2 or 41, those are still very, very, very congested roads. The roads have not kept up with the population by no means, and GDOT has to get off their tail with that one. And there's some other back roads that the county and the city needs to work on too as well. So, anyways, there is that. But another concern is the impact on schools. I mean, we're talking. I mean, we could be seeing another 100, 150 kids hitting the school systems. We're looking at Tiger Creek Elementary, Ringgold Middle, and Ringgold High. So, I mean, 5, 6, 8, 10 more teachers we need with benefits. Maybe more class space. Are we pulling trailers behind high schools to help service these kids? So anyway, so just some food for thought, and I just wanted to throw that out to you guys.
Okay. Since you brought up the schools, I will tell you this. I emailed Chance Nick, superintendent.
Yes, sir.
And as far as student enrollment, because I asked him about this particular property, and when he that's me back, he did not actually mention the RTZ that's on Catoosa Parkway. He referenced the property that's already annexed into the city, which I spoke to him before.
Yes, sir.
And under that, it says student enrollment. It said, depending on the size of the development, capacity should not be an issue at this time. And then he asked if I could provide him with additional details, and which I gave him the limited information that I had at
Yes,
that
sir.
time.
Yeah.
But now I have more information now, so I just wanted you to know that I had looked into that.
You thought about it. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've hit all my points on the head. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, yes, sir.
Ringgold?
Yeah, not Ringgold City. I'm in the county. 670 Temperance Hall. Yeah.
670. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Same thing, just name and address, please.
Nick Ware, 316 Cherry Mill Lane. So I live in District 4. I live out in the Keith community. And just like Mr. King was saying, I mean, we experience the traffic and the congestion that's already there in our area. And it impedes us a lot where we don't try to travel that area if we are going this way. We'll either go back around through Keith and come back out up in Rabbit Valley, or traverse through the other direction for Whitfield County to hit the interstate of the new little bypass, I guess you can call it, there from 41 to the next exit down. The other thing about this that's concerning to me is that this right now is the direction, if we do come this way, it's usually in the evening to come downtown to be able to eat here, restaurants, come into the city. And with all these businesses, it gives other options for the people on that side. I already see that there's this buffer that's here between between the north end and here where the interstate takes everyone from downtown over to the interstate to the new fast food restaurants, right? And or Fort Oglethorpe. And I think that this is more business that you put there as far as choices go for residents that's on this side of the county that comes into the city, but you're going to slowly hurt the businesses here in the city. And that's a big issue for small business owners that's been here, that has developed their business in this city, on that of people like myself that come into the city here to have the cup of coffee right here on this street, right? Or, I'm sorry, thought it was behind me. It's over there, Caffeine Addicts. She's been in business. She's a small business owner and she's been there for many years. You have Miss Swaney who just opened up a business here and it's been slow. I see where it's slow business right now. It's going to die if you have more business that's on that side of the town, because now you've actually insulated it, the small businesses, by creating all of these other opportunities for options for people to go to, and they won't be coming downtown. And that will kill Ringgold as far as small businesses go. That's all I have. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'd like to speak up.
Sure.
I didn't do all of it, but I actually live on Hackett Road.
Did you have a name and address?
392 Hackett Road.
392?
Yes,
Which
it's
street?
Jennifer Henderson. We've lived there for over 52 years. The road is a small road. The logging trucks that have been coming in and out of it have destroyed the road. So we've contacted the county, tried to get the road fixed. The road has not been fixed. So, it's a matter of the growth in some areas is appreciated, excuse me, but the type of growth that they're bringing, I don't believe is what you would want in the community. Yeah, you see the money coming into what you think is going to be the city, but I work in public safety, and I've seen the homes that some of these areas have put up. You don't get the kind of people in the area that you've lived in all your life in the area that you have. They don't take care of things sometimes, and then if you're putting businesses beside them, well, you're not going to have luxury homes there. The apartments, I think we can see around Bandy Road what we have in that. I just think that there's so many opportunities for them to get land, or businesses that are shut down, or properties that have already been sold in the city that have been businesses before. If they want to put a business in to go into the empty space. I think the Tiger Creek School being so close to the area he wants to develop, I think you got to think about the safety of the kids being transported in and out of the area. We also have some Civil War museums close by on the land that they're building on. You got to wonder. We've always kept a well and things like that because that's all that we were allowed to get out there. The city and the county never brought things that far back because there's only a few of us back there. This is kind of a little bit emotional for me because we've lived there so long. It's a beautiful area, and just knowing that there's areas that they could move businesses into that are closed down, don't have people in the spaces. If they wanted to put a business in something like that, I think that's what should be moved to be brought in first. So I just want to go on record saying I oppose it, and I wish that y'all would not let them move into that area for that reason.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So one of your concerns were the type of people that it would bring in, and concerns of whether they would take care of the property and such, maybe possibly a decrease in the home values and stuff like that if they, I believe it's blight, so basically not taking care of the property and neglecting it and such. So would you think that in combination with the gentleman who came up here earlier to develop this land, that if he focused on more expensive housing, it would bring in a different type of person?
I don't think you're gonna get anybody that wants to live right there off of 41 with the type of housing that you would wanna see in that area. We live at the back of it's been family land, there's no one, but there are some apartments to the side. And those, you can see, when you drive by, they're not taken care of as well as you would wanna see in your area. It happens, I know people have big homes that don't take care of them, but I think when you're trying to get that many houses in that small of a space, and then you're talking about businesses as well, I don't know that you're gonna get the type of housing. And it's disappointing to see that, that would be coming into that area, because it's been farmland for some people for some time across the street and stuff like that. You just hate to see that kind of business or that kind of, apartments coming in close to you anyways, especially knowing that it may not get taken care of. I mean, that's just, I hate to be so blunt about it, but I think we all can go around and see how some of that's done. Working in public safety, I can tell you that when we go into some of these apartment housing facilities, you start to see, I hate to say it, there's good people that live there. I'm not saying the people aren't good. It's just when you have your home sitting close to that property, we don't want to sell it. So to us, I mean, the property value is a lot more than just money.
Right.
And having something around it that is going to take a lot of that away. I just want to say that I just don't think it's a good idea if it's brought into the community, and especially with Tiger Creek being so close. Like they're saying, I understand you can work roads to make it better, but when you've got that many kids coming in and out of the roads, especially 41 and Georgia too, I just don't know that it'd be safe putting that many businesses in and that much housing for them to try to bus them. I just don't see how it would be a safety. Because even at Ringgold, you've got all these back roads that they can kind of get out on, but you don't have that for that school. They just have what you can come out on a main road either way you go. And I just don't think it's a good idea there. But thank y'all.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Name and address, please.
My name's Chrissy Ware, 316 Cherry Lane as well, District 4. I just have really a couple of questions. We heard a little bit about phase 1, and it was very vague. What does phase 2, and is there a phase 3? What is the long-term projection on this project? My concern would be, who is going to pay for the roads? If you're talking about that large of a development, and possibly including commercial, who's gonna pay for the roads to be maintained? That will be a burden, I would assume, on the city. In addition to that, with the schools, I heard you say that Chance Nix made the comment that based on what he had seen with phase 1 and depending on, he might have concerns. To me, my biggest concern is that I don't hear a unified plan on what this is gonna be. What I have heard this evening is, give us the zoning and then we're gonna tell you what we're gonna do and what it's gonna look like and how big the impact will truly be. And that is a little bit scary as a property owner. So I would just like to have some more of those questions answered and to see if it's possible that you guys can give them time to develop a better and more concrete plan onto what the impacts would be on the city and the county and the schools and the traffic, because that is a huge concern at that freeway that's there now. It's already extremely dangerous with the traffic that it has now. I am opposed to the commercial zoning, in part because of the school, and just what it would bring in and what it would do to the businesses that are here already in Ringgold, that this side of the county tends to support more. I know we need more affordable housing in the area. I know that's always an issue, and I am for that. The RTZ does scare me, it being high density. That just takes a load on the environment and the resources and everything else that's here. So those are just some of my concerns that I wish you would consider and keep in mind.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, my name's Don Mathis, I'm at 99 Catoosa Parkway. And
What's the name again, Don what?
Mathis, M-A-P-P-E-S, and we're actually move-ins, we come from Indianapolis, Indiana. Been here almost a year, we love this place. Just the traffic, like they're talking about, in the mornings when they're dropping people off, it's backed up from the school all the way to Fort. So if you had any more people going there, you know, it's great. So going both ways, they drop them off, it's full, then they turn around and leave. I mean, during that hour period, it's, you know, I don't know what you don't like there, that might help, but now you're gonna clog up the school. You know, there's nowhere to go. But we love this little town. I didn't get a letter, my neighbor did. I didn't get a letter, I don't know why. She didn't come, but I just wondered what was going on, because I live across the street on Catoosa there. You know.
I can answer that.
You what?
I can answer that.
Okay, correct.
Letters go to properties that are adjacent or touching. So,
Okay, not across the street.
well, it should be across the street.
Across the street, I mean, the creek right from my house, I mean, you know.
Should have got one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm right, I'm two houses down from the Stone Church, okay?
Yeah, you should have got a letter. If you're adjacent to the property across the street or touching it, you should have got
Yeah,
one.
I mean, my neighbor, she got one, that's why I thought, well, I didn't know what was going on, so I had to kind of come down to see kind of what was going on, and, it's like I said, we love this little town, and something was mentioned, there's a lot of really good points brought up, and I agree, not very specific, I agree with what she said, hey, give us the property, and then we'll let you know later what we're gonna put on it. But, you know, that many houses in that small area, you know, I think some larger homes maybe, not so many, but, you know, if you're just gonna build a bunch of cubicles over there, that's not gonna help, you know. It's not gonna help anybody around here, you know, it'll be in and out, the turnover is gonna be crazy. It's just, anyway, I just want to throw my 2 cents in, but we love your little town, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Nick Ware, 316. Yeah, so why not have a conceptual drawing that gives you the concept of what's going to be there? You know, that's a little bit inexpensive in comparison to doing full. I work with engineers myself, and we do a lot of design on properties. So, you know, at least having somewhat of a civil plan that kind of highlights and shows kind of what the plan is. You know, don't fall for the bait of we're going to bring more affordable housing to Ringgold so that the residents will be there, because that might be the hook that grabs you, and we may be regretting it in the future. You know, to have a good decision, to being able to make a good decision for you guys, really having that plan in place and showing you what this is going to do, so then that way you can really see how to navigate the road and making your decision, and what the impact will be for the residents, for the small businesses here, and how it'll impact those people that live in that area of the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, hearing no one else, we will close that public hearing, and we will move on to public hearing number 2.
I'm sorry, could I,
Would you like to address?
yes, sir. Could I address some of these? Thank you.
Sure. Go right ahead.
Sorry I'm so late. There was one point, Mr. Ware, I think, is that your name? Yeah. You mentioned that downtown could struggle because of this. Now, I live in Dalton, Georgia, where obviously there is a lot of commercial development that's happened. There are a lot of subdivisions. Downtown is thriving now more than ever. There is a time and place for, like I said, these commercial chains, but ultimately on a weekend, I want to go to downtown to have dinner at a mom and pop store or a restaurant that's owned by someone that I know or I directly know. I don't believe downtown will suffer at all. Downtown has a whole different vibe to it that these commercial developments could never compete with, right? So as the gentleman from Indiana mentioned, you know, he came here for the small town. That small town feeling is not going to go away, because I've been in Dalton for almost my entire life. Yes, the town has gotten bigger, but at the end of the day, when I go visit bigger cities, I'm always grateful and thankful, hey, that I am in a smaller town. I can still walk into the courthouse, meet with people that I need to, meet with local government officials. That feel will not go away in Catoosa County or in the city of Ringgold. The second point, I heard GDOT being mentioned. GDOT is generally difficult to reach, to deal with, just because they're huge. With the commercial improvements that would come, that is what activates GDOT into getting into the mood to actually do something. They won't improve the roads unless you're showing that, hey, there is significant development coming. Once they hear that, then they get serious. The engineers start talking amongst each other. As far as the engineering goes, just the topo survey alone that I would have to go through to get an accurate count on this property is going to be north of $70,000. That is in addition to the other $30,000 or $40,000 that I've already paid over the past few years just to get boundary surveys. So even without, this zoning and this annexation, I have well overspent more than $100,000 already just on surveys. The engineering, I'm sure, will cost at least another $200,000 or $300,000, plus all the studies, the FEMA studies, the bridge designs. So there's a significant cost, and it's not that I want to be vague about the plan for this. I really can't get a proper conceptual plan until we invest a lot of these resources into the surveys, into the engineering, and that will dictate, hey, this is what's realistic. Like you guys mentioned, there are topo issues, there are flood plains, there are flood zones. There's a lot to this, and for us to get a comprehensive plan will require everything to be done. And it's difficult to do that if we don't have the actual zoning that is needed. The other item that was brought up is the thought of luxury homes coming to this area. Just from my experience in Dalton and generally speaking, North Georgia, the median income is not that we can just have luxury homes pop up every now and then. What I have found is, even as a builder, anything that I build that is in the $400,000 to $600,000 range, that sits there for months, waiting on someone to come take it. The houses that are, let's say, in the $250,000 range, that are more attainable, those fly off very quick. It's just, it depends on the economics. Now, I hope there's newer financial products that come out. I know the federal government's discussing 50-year mortgages and what else, they can come up with. I'm sure that'll make it easier, or for people that can afford a certain level of home, they can upgrade. And for people for homes at the moment that are not attainable, this hopefully will be able to put them into these homes. So that is the goal. But we have to have the RTZ because someone mentioned that we need to efficiently use the land. There is no better efficiency than having the most amount of houses in a smaller area. That is less land being disturbed, that is less nature being disturbed as well. And the other major improvement to the area will be all the infrastructure. So the roads, I as a developer will have to improve those roads. That's not something the county is just gonna, hey, here you go, we're gonna improve this road for you. No, that'll be on me, and that will be part of the entire cost of the whole development. So I would say that the infrastructure is gonna improve. There will be now sewer access going through that area. There will be better public water. So it's a lot more resources that will be coming to the area. There was a concern of, hey, how are these houses gonna be kept? How are people gonna, keep their houses up? Well, any community that comes in here, it will be required that they have some kind of HOA, and a pretty strict HOA. So that would dictate, hey, what can you have in your front yard? What commercial vehicles can you not have in your driveway? So the HOA should take care of most of those issues. And like I said, as far as timeline goes, this is definitely a 5+ year project. Initially, your houses come, the commercial development comes. It doesn't happen overnight. Ringgold as a whole is going to grow over the next 5 to 10 years, without a doubt. Just from what I've seen over the past 10 years, things have grown exponentially. On this exit, there's a Love's truck stop coming across the bridge. So development is already here, and this exit, I believe, is very underutilized at the moment. This is all commercial corridor. So again, all the businesses that are coming here will be catered to not just the City of Ringgold residents and the county, but also to highway traffic that are stopping, and the massive sales tax boost that will come to the area. So I believe just in the amount of money that comes through sales tax, it could improve so many things in this town, or expand, or increase, or whatever the city feels that they need to do. And as far as these houses go, these aren't cubicles, right? These are proper 1,200 to 1,600 square foot homes that would come in this area. That is a absolutely fantastic size. And, you can get a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom type of home in there. But again, it's what the market dictates. If the market was dictating, let's say 4 to 5 bedroom kind of homes that are selling for north of 500,000, absolutely, builders will build what they can get. But at the moment, the economy is not such that we could invest in those kind of homes. So I hope that answers some of the questions. And like I said, once we get these, the rezoning approvals, that's when, hey, go ahead, let's go get financing, let's spend the 300,000 or 400,000 more it'll take on the engineering, on all the studies, and then it's feasible to, hey, give a proper plan. This is what's possible. We have in our mind, hey, we'd love this or we'd love that, but as I've experienced over the past few years, what you think is gonna happen is not going to happen. You can have a great plan, and then the engineer is like, hey, you can't do that. There's rules that don't allow this, or it's just not set up. Your property is not set up for this kind of setup. So that's the main reason why there's no very detailed, comprehensive plan as of yet.
I want to ask you a question. So I'm not an engineer. I've not bought property at this large of a scale before, but just sitting here thinking about it, hearing the concerns, hearing what you want, and thinking about both sides, I'm thinking to myself, is it really a truth that you would need these zonings to happen before you would spend that $70,000 on the geological structure engineering teams and such to come in and do the drilling, find out if you can have all of the necessary pipes for the plumbing and infrastructure? You mentioned the roads. Yes, the roads that are on the property, yes, you would develop, but the ones that already exist, like Hackett and Bandy, you wouldn't do anything to those. That would be the city. That's my impression. I don't know that to be the truth. So I hear both sides, and I think that's their concern, is that the roads that already exist that you wouldn't be touching, that would be a cost to tax dollars and come from the city. Anyways, that's just some thoughts that I had while sitting here, but not really a question, I guess.
Yes, sir. Well, again, the initial burden, from what I understand, is upon the developer to do the improvements to the roads to make this all feasible. Once those are built to county standards, it is then turned over to the county or the city. I don't know what the exact process is here, but the maintenance, of course, there is a major commercial business coming here. The amount of property tax that would come, the amount of sales tax that would come would more than suffice for any kind of maintenance or road improvements that would come. Plus, there are state funds that come into effect. I know, like in Dalton, they repave our roads every few years, and I don't understand why. But then I come to find out, well, we were given this chunk of money, we had to use it. And I'm like, that's great, but this road is fine. Why are we? There's nothing wrong with it. It's still very fresh, but I believe there's ample funding for the continuing maintenance for these type of roads.
Just one thing, you mentioned building. Are you a builder?
Yes, sir.
And how many projects have you done?
I have right now in Dalton 3 gas station projects. Over the past 2 years, we built around 10 homes. These are just single family homes on one-off lots. So do I think I could manage these projects? Absolutely. I'm slowly building the team that could build these houses. We've experimented with various floor plans, and we've come upon 1 or 2 that we actually really like, that are efficient, that are efficient for us to build and very efficient for customers. They get the most amount of usable space. It's built efficiently as far as roof designs and things like that. So yeah, absolutely. I don't believe I have any issue with this kind of project.
Have you taken on a complex as large as this before?
No, sir, but I believe my team can definitely do it. It's not just me. I think someone has asked me, why don't you invest in all the engineering? I am from Dalton, Georgia. I am not a big corporation. So there's only so much cost I can take without, hey, it'd be a major risk. But as far as building it, I have a very good builder friend in Chattanooga. And he's got contacts with Wright Brothers and some of these bigger companies, and I trust him tremendously to assist me with this project. So although I myself may not be able to do it, I do have the team and I do have the contacts that could take on this development fairly easily.
So you have never developed a subdivision before?
Not in Catoosa, in Woodfield
Done a
County. Yes.
subdivision before?
Yes, sir.
And the roads were taken over by the
The roads are taken over by the city, yes, sir. Well, the county, as long as they're built to a county spec, yes, sir.
and so you met those county specs?
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's an engineered list of, they have to be so wide, this is the kind of slopes you need. So, I mean, it's all in them. Typically, it's also like GDOT specs are often used, so.
What's the largest number of homes that you've done at one time?
I would say 10 at a time is doable. That's with the subdivisions. We did a 14 condo development in Dalton quite a while back. But again, it's I'm just a developer. Ultimately, there's other contractors that come here, right? So anyone can stand here and tell you that they're going to build. They themselves are not building it. They have subcontractors. They have crews. They have bid sites, right? These once these plans are concrete, you put them onto bid sites, and you get construction companies from all over trying to bid on these. My goal would be to use contractors that are local to the area, that I have worked with, that have been very loyal to me, that have done a fantastic job. Why let the money go out to these bigger firms that are not even based in our area when we can do it ourselves? So.
One more question, why city, not county?
The city's got the zoning product that we need to make this happen.
They don't have RTZ in the county?
No, sir. No, sir.
Anybody else? All right, thank you very much. Anyone else like to speak?
Can I speak again?
Go ahead.
I told my wife to go to dinner without me.
So sorry.
This is important to me. Look, my family's been here since 1838, okay? 1847 is whenever this county was established. So it is important to me. The county does have RTZ. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know that I go to these meetings. Y'all know that I sit and have it to where it's recorded. I watch the county meetings every month. This is the first time you've experienced me here at this meeting. But it was important to me to come because it affects me and my family. The county does have RTZ, so what this man just told you, he has not done his homework. And he does not know if that is the case, then I would definitely say, you're trying to be baited, you're trying to get hooked, and the product that he's saying that he's going to deliver may not come to fruition. It's a great question, Skip. I wonder the same thing. What's the resume here? What's the track record? Is there people that you can contact to say, hey, has this guy done anything? And I don't want this area to be like Dalton. And we don't have the money to continually pave good roads in this county. So all the smoke and mirrors, I'm here to call it. I hope that you see it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Robert Mullins, 426 Hackett Road. Has anyone been on Hackett Road? Driven down Hackett Road? Have you been down Hackett Road?
Yes, sir.
What kind of shape is the road in?
It is a back roads.
It is a paved disaster. After they cleared the land and logged it, the trucks destroyed the road. The asphalt is in shambles. You can see the dirt underneath the road. I don't know if he did anything to help after they cleared it. You had it cleared, did you not?
It wasn't me, sir. It was a timbering company that was doing an agricultural practice. So it was given to a timbering company that was responsible for
Okay.
taking the timber.
So it wasn't a concern how they left the road?
It was their responsibility to leave the road as they found it before. That was something that was passed on to the timber broker that was involved,
So
that he
it's-
was involved with that timbering company.
It's a concern for me that he's been out there and seen what has been hired to clear the land and how they left the road. So if, moving forward, this is what we have to look forward in developing, it's a huge concern for me. Thank you.
I'd like to make an additional comment about that. So I used to live off Carroll Drive behind, the Costco that they built in a very not so great neighborhood with a lot of crime. I wouldn't even necessarily call it a neighborhood, but there was, some property that was being developed at the end of it, and they brought a bulldozer down the street instead of being on a tractor, and they scraped and destroyed a lot of it all the way down, and there was nothing, done about it. I don't know how often or how knowledgeable people are about driving their tires on a road that has a lot of grooves in it. Over time, over and over and over again, it will wear down your tires very quickly. So I can understand the concern for a road being destroyed to the point where dirt is shown. I would have to agree with the gentleman that came up and say that while I understand that you passed on that responsibility to a third party that you hired to take care of the road, if you don't have a sense of responsibility, even after passing it on to somebody to say, here's what I've done in action to that, I kind of have an issue with that a little bit personally, but there's nothing I can do about that. But just know that I hear you, we hear you, and I would expect if you came to the next meeting in March to get this, pushed forward, that maybe you would have a response to that.
Yes, sir. I will talk with Sam Ward, who lives on Hackett Road, as he is my liaison between them, between us and the timber company. I will let him know everyone's not happy, that he needs to contact the timber company, and they need to come out and at least put gravel back on the roads and get it back to the shape that it's supposed to.
Sam Ward drives this same road, so.
Correct. So again, I'll talk with Sam, and I'll let him know, hey, this was a major issue, and this needs to be addressed. So I'll have that conversation with him.
Anyone else? Okay, so now we will close that public hearing, and we will move on to public hearing number 2. Four Musketeers LLC is requesting to subdivide into 2 lots the property located at tax map 22C, parcel 1H. Information is on page 55 through 59 of your packet. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? Okay. No one is here on that. So we will close that public hearing. Now we will move on to new business. Item number 1 under new business, North Georgia Land Developers is requesting 6 parcels to be annexed into the City of Ringgold and to be zoned C.2 and RTZ. All 6 annexation requests are contingent upon one another. Properties are located at tax map 67, parcel 10, parcel 11, parcel 12, and parcel 8 to be zoned C2, tax map 66, parcel 76A, and parcel 74A to be rezoned, to be annexed in and zone RTZ. How would the commission like to proceed on this item?
I'd like to make a motion that we table it until we have a better rendering and show economic impact. And also, what can be done to the infrastructure, say a Packet Road, before it is approved as an annexation into the city.
Okay. Do I have a second to that motion? I have a second. All in favor of tabling
Until we have a better rendering and have
your whole motion?
all those in favor.
2, 3, 4. Any against?
I make a motion to approve.
We've already got a motion and a second on the floor to table the motion until we get more increase, but So, I'm gonna have to refer to you, Mike. If we vote to table it, because I feel like I have to take the first motion that I got.
Okay.
Even if it's a 3-2 vote, to table it until there are more renderings or more information, it still can go before the city council.
Absolutely.
And they can do whatever it is that they want to do.
Yes.
Am I correct in
That's
that?
correct.
Okay, I thought I was, I just wanted to make sure. So, you still wanna keep your same motion with Jeremy's second?
My motion is to table it, we have better renderings, and a better understanding of the economic impact
Okay.
of what it will be done.
All right.
I'm sorry, who agreed with that? Jeremy, Dan, who else?
Jeremy had a second, and then I think Skip, Dan, and Jeremy voted yes.
Okay.
All right, what question? Sorry, more important. If we vote no to approve it, does it still go?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it goes to city council.
No matter what? Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so, yay, nay, yay, nay.
I vote yes, only because
Okay.
they're gonna see it and the concerns will be heard.
So we have 4 yes and 1 against the table. But you still can come before the city council on March the 9th, 7 o'clock, and they may agree that the same thing that we said, or they may vote to approve it. All we have is our vote and our recommendation, and they got the final say, so they can do whatever they need to do.
And they can also decline it. And the reason I am asking, the purpose of my motion, you remember about a year ago, we had someone come with the same sort of idea of commercial and residential. And they had some sort of rendering, and we actually had a work session about it, so.
Alright. Okay. So now we move on to new business number 2. For Musketeers LLC is requesting to subdivide into 2 lots property located at tax map 22C, parcel 1H. How would the commission like to proceed on this item, even though no one was here, but I think we can agree by the.
Because of their various work on this piece of track, I would make a motion that we allow the subdivision.
Okay, got a motion to approve the subdivide, do I have a second? Second, all in favor? It is unanimous vote. I would tell them to be here March 9th, but since they're not here now, they may not be here then. Okay, that closes new business, we have no old business, so I will take a motion to adjourn. I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Skip second, all in favor? And we are in adjournment. Once again, March the 9th, 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right here with the city council. Thank y'all.
If you have a house plan that you are
Yes, sir.
preferred, that you've built before and everything, I would suggest you might bring some of those drawings to show the city council if you prefer to come here.
I will bring pictures of one that I'm building right now.
And just kind of show them some house plans of the type of house you want. I think that may have quelled some concerns and some of these folks were having, because I think if I understood it correctly, it'd be certain some people are going to own these.
Yes, sir.
That makes a huge difference.
Just like yours.
But I would, just more information.
Sure. I will call Sam because he should have.
Yeah, I know Sam.
Yeah, I'll call right now. Yeah.
I said it lightly because I don't know how bad the damage is, but ideally, if you can see it, that's what they determined about the road. I know a lot of trucks are very large and heavy.
So, where you had most of that Sandy Ward?
Yeah, Sandy Ward is the same.
Raleigh of the renderings. Well, I know before. Well, it's always been gravel runs.
Well, and if the, like, you have the logging company damage the road, it is the logging company's responsibility to repair it. However, someone will have to.
Yeah, yeah, Sam, there's one picture.
I don't know, it's been so long since I've been outside.
It's mostly gravel. It's not like it was a brand new road that was a great, yeah. So the logging company, yeah, they didn't.
They didn't help.
Well, yeah, no,
They never did.
but it's not like they were, they damaged the road. As part of this, we're gonna have to improve that road anyways, as part of the overall development.
Is there a?
But you know what I'm saying, as far as like the logging company, would be responsible. Yeah, they damage it.
Give them a call because they don't have to just bring it gravel, because they're not gonna asphalt it, it wasn't asphalted to start with.
No, if it wasn't asphalt,
Yeah.
they can get with the county.
That's my only concern is that I don't agree 100% that the gravel company, a lot of companies did what they could. They would more, I'll be sure of that, but, you know, it's not like it's not like they hurt right away, they're really good. So it's always been, and I wouldn't bumpy. But, yes, sir, it's good.
Right away, you're not allowed to take something.
Yeah.
You're not taking the right away. Now, normally, nothing's according to the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
The city ordinance, state, state of Georgia. And we have to abide by that. You cannot take a loss. Now, on private property, I don't know, they're saying, if that's not on right away, it's in the children's park. It's there in the city hall parking lot.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
We take it up, so it's on the right of way.
I'll bring house.
Bring any drawings you can. Even if it's just basic drawings that show like the problems.
I've been in 60 acres of commercial on a highway.
It is, and I understand that point.
It's an underutilized corridor. There's actually 348, 345 is not, it's happening. 341, major work is happening.
I have never,
345 is
I have
only
been, I've
left.
worked here.
So it's only a matter of time.
And I have never seen people tell signs right now.
Difference between me and the guy who failed for last year is he was relying 100% on Smith and Smith. This was the exit 353 property. 100% relying on, sorry, you're right, 350. He's relying on that 100%. We already own the land. So there's no,
May,
oh,
May,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
there's really,
there's gonna be a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think they've got.
Just a brief.
Yeah.